Hey guys, what's up? It's Karl, and back with another Essentials tech video in, of course, a certain price category. We've done $25, we've done $50, and today is the $100 item or $100 tech that you need this year in 2021. Before we start though, we of course have a little giveaway from that last episode. Big congrats to Jenny. After this video, I'll shoot you a quick little message over on Insta to get your shipping info. And as all of the episodes, I always try to hook you guys up. You can win one of the items that you see in today's episode. Super simple. Just of course, sub to the channel. Can't ask for anything more than that. Be sure to leave a comment down below on your favorite item with your IG handle. It's just so much easier for me to message you there. It's a bit more legit and it helps with the spam. So best of luck to everyone. Let's hop into our first item. And when I was thinking through this episode, $100 doesn't really buy you a lot these days. So most of these items that you see are actually desk accessories, which I think a lot of you are fans of anyways. We'll start with my favorite keyboard and mouse combo first. This is the Keychron K2, and I think I've had this for the past year. One of my favorite keyboards that I've kind of used. I am, of course, slightly biased as it does have the orange escape button, but this is a mechanical keyboard. They actually have different ones as well. You can see here, this is either the K1 or K3, but the main difference between these is, of course, the switches. So this one has the blue switches. You can hear all of the tactile feedback, all of the large throw on all of the keys. Over here, you've got the red switches. I know that will come down to personal preference. So say you work at home with your significant other, your girlfriend, boyfriend, maybe even your roommate. Clanking away on this thing probably isn't the nicest thing for that other person to hear. So maybe you want to get one that's a bit more quiet. Regardless of which one you choose, all of them are backlit. I tend to have my lights off just to help with battery life. I find that I have to charge them maybe once every month or so. They've just honestly been a great addition, and I think every tech YouTuber has had these, so you probably have seen these all before. Moving on over to my mouse of choice, and once again, this is an OG guy here on the channel. This is the Logitech MX Master 3, and there is no reason for me to upgrade until, or I guess, the MX4 comes out. This has just been such a good mouse, and I think now more than ever, it's so important to invest $100 into an item that you use for 7 to 8 hours, especially if you're behind a computer. Your hand, your wrist will thank you, and I used to actually have carpal tunnel back when I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft using a crappy $10 mouse back when I was an undergrad. I wish back then I knew how important it was to have an ergonomic mouse, so this thing just feels super comfy on the hand. It's got 3 different Bluetooth presets on the back, so I actively switch these depending on which device I'm using, from say my Mac Mini to my MacBook Pro to even my iPad if I want. The only thing I would say, and I'll try to get some of the gunk on camera, because it is now a bit older, I guess my hand has been dirtier than I thought. The lighter gray has collected, or I guess discolored a bit over time, so maybe just get the darker one to help with a bit of the wear and tear. Speaking of World of Warcraft, that was completely unplanned. This is the Blue Yeti microphone, and this specific one is the limited edition World of Warcraft model. I know this one is over $100, but you can just get the standard one. I think that goes on sale all the time for $100, and for even cheaper, you can get the Blue Yeti Nano. Since you are on those Zoom calls and working from home all day, speaking through your computer's microphone often isn't the best, and Blue microphones are usually the industry standard for plug-and-play USB microphones. Having this is just so much better and will make you not sound like a potato. Even though potatoes are technically tasty, but just like the mouse, investing into your home tech or your work from home setup is now just so much better. You'll sound more professional. You'll sound better when you're answering a question from, say, your teacher or your prof. The most important thing, you'll sound better in your party when you're rocking Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever you guys end up playing. You'll never miss a call out. The next item around that $100 mark. So the next couple are actually all from GroveMade. I use all of their stuff over on my setups all the time. This is the latest one, and it's simply called the desk tray. So every time now I find when I come to the studio, I actually dump, say, my wallet, my keys, my SD cards that I bring between both places into a certain spot. And for anyone that has shot video, done any photo work, you know that you burn through SD cards, you lose them, you leave them in your jeans. Placing them in one dedicated spot is a lot better. You don't need to buy more because you won't lose them. This is essentially an organizer, so a bit of a game changer for me. I know it's a bit pricey, around $100. You could probably get one for $5, $20 IKEA, the dollar store. You could do that too if you want. But if you are into Grove made stuff, I know it's made locally in the US, and if you have some of their corresponding things that match, I think this could be a great little addition. The next two, maybe three things, I think. $100, hopefully not. And the last one, which you see all the time on the table, the desk mat. So this is just a wool felt mat. Once again, $100. You could get a pen holder in this dope walnut finish. Typically, Grove Made either has this or say the maple wood, the lighter wood, which you see behind me. Or if you're like me and you are a huge stationary OG pen guy, this over-the-top pen holder, which is completely unnecessary, but just looks straight dope. It's so easy to burn a lot of money on Grove Made. I know they're expensive, but it is high quality stuff. And if you need an easy way to burn money, you have them. Next off, we're gonna switch on over to some gaming tech around that $100 mark. So Xbox came out with their new wireless headset. This is a pretty simple and affordable headset if you are, say, an Xbox fan. You guys know that I all am. It's a pretty simple colorway as well. So all black, you've got the green accents. I'm happy Xbox didn't go green with black accents. That would be pretty loud. I've already logged close to around 40 hours of this, usually just playing some Call of Duty, so it's been super comfy. It does have faux leather ear cups as well as a headband. It's got the nice swivelable, articulating microphone on the left side. You can also kind of swivel it back up to hide it. The one thing though that I am a fan of is the volume rocker on the right-hand side. You just need to twist the headset. I find that a lot easier to access than say a dedicated button or two. Like I mentioned, I use this in around 4 to 5 hour stints and I haven't really got any ear fatigue, so I think that's awesome from Xbox for releasing a relatively decent and cheapish headset for around that $100 mark if you are Team Xbox. Get on it. Over on the other side of the console wars though, I actually just picked up my second PlayStation 5 controller, so this comes in of course under that $100 mark. Sadly, close to $100 for a controller. But regardless how big of an Xbox fanboy I am, kind of till I die, I have to give the biggest credit to PlayStation for their new controller. It is leaps and bounds ahead of the Xbox X or S. I guess they're the same controller. This thing is just so much better to use. The haptic feedback, the ergonomics, the fact that it charges with USB-C instead of AA batteries, which is super archaic. Even some of the nice little details on the back, I think PlayStation smashed it out of the park with this one. I think most of you on the console war side are Team PlayStation, so here's your PlayStation idea. Buy a controller. Speaking of controllers, a bit of a tangent, unrelated, but under $100 if any of you are interested what I am spending my time playing. Breath of the Wild, Zelda, my second playthrough. Cannot believe that game is close to 4 years old. 2017, 18 it came out, absolutely game of the year. The most fun I've had on a Zelda game since my OG Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask days. The new trailer drop for Breath of the Wild 2. I cannot wait for that game. If you guys still haven't tried Breath of the Wild, even if you aren't a Zelda fan, trust me, it is such a good game. Switching to item number 4, I believe. This is probably the best money that you can spend for a smart speaker. It is the Google Nest, under $100. So Google has kept this at $99. If you're in the market for one smart home speaker, look no further than the Nest. Google is still leaps and bounds ahead of, say, Amazon Alexa, Siri. I think it's a joke for Home Assistant, doesn't even work half the time. The Google Nest to me is just a no-brainer if you're getting into the smart home space, or even if you want to add more to your current setup. I've got one here in the studio, I've got one at home in my condo, and the sound output is pretty decent. I'm always a fan that Google is still making these out of reusable materials, so I believe the outside is completely made out of recycled plastic. They come in a couple different colorways. They're simple, they're unique. I think they look pretty good for a smart speaker, and they sound good. And the very last item, I think you all knew I was gonna include some bit of Lego, mostly because I just wanted to share my latest build. So I finally finished my Porsche Turbo. This option you could either build between this or the iconic Targa. And I know a lot of you will say this is over $100, but I will argue you can get Lego sets that cost $100. Are they tech? Technically not, but they're in this episode because I actually use or build them when I want to detach from tech. All of you guys see all of the Lego behind me. Yes, more than $100. I think 5, $600 for some of those builds. You can go cheaper though, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm concluding this episode. I had to throw that in. So just remember, that is the $100 tech essentials that you need this year. Remember that you can win one of the items, obviously not my Lego one. Just be sure to sub to the channel. Just thanking you guys all for watching all of my content this year. Make sure to leave that comment down below with your IG handle. I will message you over there on that platform. And also, if you guys have any other tech suggestions in and around that $100 mark, I'm sure people would love to hear them down below in the comments, so make sure you sound off. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will catch the rest of you hopefully in one of my next episodes, but if not, in my next tech essentials list